Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Najat Tijani. Remember, all our broadcasts are being streamed live on YouTube, and you can follow all our social media handles. The federal government has formally accepted Ebonyi state government's offer to take over the management of the newly completed King David University of Medical Sciences, Uburu. President Muhammadu Buhari announced this at a state banquet organized in his honor by the state government, saying the handover and renaming of the world-class institution as Federal Medical University would soon be concluded. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
I have decided to accept the offer of your government to take over the University of Medical Sciences.
This pronouncement by President Muhammadu Buhari, greeted with a standing ovation, is indeed a dream come true for the people of Ebonyi State. The state government, which constructed the world-class medical institution with centers of excellence for the treatment of cancer, liver, heart diseases, and kidney transplant, made it clear that it does not have the capacity for effective management. President Muhammadu Buhari, who commended Governor Dave Umahi for his strong desire to change the narrative of the state, raise her economic status, and meet genuine public aspirations, assured him of federal government's collaboration and support towards accomplishing his vision.
I have noted the significant projects executed by Your Excellency in the last 7 years. You have done your people proud. I am pleased by the economic development records of the state under your administration. The wonderful network of roads, critical infrastructure, and investment opportunities created in the state. It shows you have zero tolerance for corruption and waste of public funds.
The president said he is highly honored that in the life of his administration, Ebonyi state government and its people made the right choice to join the governing APC.
I commend the governor for the courage to join the party at the center and for all his contributions in moving our nation forward. I also commend you for keeping faith with our administration's development programs and the manifestos of our great party, the All Progressive Congress.
Governor David Umahi said the giant strides achieved by his administration in the execution of critical projects could not have been possible without the numerous financial assistance to states by the Buhari administration. He also thanked the president for the second Niger Bridge project, rehabilitation of the Enugu International Airport, as well as the reconstruction of Enugu-Port Harcourt, as well as Enugu-Oka Expressway, amongst others.
There is no president like you. You are a man, honestly, with a generous heart. We assure the Excellency that the people, and indeed the people of Southeast, value you greatly. This wonderfully, hardly, love, and fair disposition to the plight of our people.
Before the state banquet, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the new office of the governor's wife, named after the First Lady, Aisha Buhari. The new governor's office complex, named after the former governor of the Eastern Region, Akanu Ibiam. The Muhammadu Buhari four-way light tunnel, symbolizing the new face of Ebonyi State, as well as the iconic Ebonyi State Shopping Mall. From Abakaliki, Ebonyi State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
It was a night to remember when Ebonyi state government hosted President Muhammadu Buhari to a sumptuous dinner during his two-day working visit to the state. Chika Okori covered the state banquet, now reports.
After the inauguration of some projects and other activities marking the president's two-day working visit in Ebonyi State, it was time for the salt of the nation to demonstrate the usual art of hospitality it's known for to the number one citizen, President Muhammadu Buhari. The people did not take chances in showcasing their rich cultural heritage with different traditional dances entertaining Mr. President and other stakeholders. In Abakaliki, Chika Okori, NTA News.
The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, has formally declared to run for President of Nigeria on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC, saying his decades of political experience and positions held serving the nation will help in driving his agenda of building a new Nigeria. Saliu Gwanara reports.
Ogbonnaya Onu said a new Nigeria is possible through a selfless leader, and that as an icon of peace and unity, he will work to uplift and add value to humanity using the nation's rich human potentials.
Nigeria must be self-reliant. We can no longer continue to depend on other nations to solve our problems. We are better equipped to solve these problems ourselves. This is the road that we have to take. This is the road that science, technology, and innovation will make possible for us to take. I have a dream that Nigeria will one day lead the world.
Friends, family, and political associates of the aspirant witnessed the event and are hopeful.
This is the kind of thing we need in Nigeria, and we believe that somebody with integrity is not the kind of person that goes after money. Corruption will go. People will get jobs, and I believe that he can build on the foundation that the President Buhari has laid.
So he's someone that encourages the youth and the women in particular. And I believe Nigerians, the North, the West, the East, we are one.
Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu from Southeast served as the national chairman and leader of the defunct All Nigerian People's Party, ANPP, one of the legacy political parties that formed APC. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
To academic matters now, the 2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, commences today with a total of 1,761,338 candidates expected to sit for the examination. Olayinka Ojo reports that the number of registered candidates for the 2022 UTME is 400,000 above that of 2021.
Time of the year again, when most secondary school leavers look forward to talking about sitting for the examination that will enable them gain admission into tertiary institutions. The 2022 exercise is being conducted at 755 computer-based test centers across the country. A visit to one of the CBT centers in Abuja shows that biometrics began as early as 7 a.m. to give candidates a clean bill before entering the examination hall. The examination started at exactly 9 a.m. in the morning for the first batch.
When I came, I tried my finger, my thumb. It didn't work at first, so I had to beat. So others came in and tried. So I tried like 6 times at first before it worked. So
pockets of problems, and we try to solve those problems because this is the first day. There are very few, 2-3 centers having one problem or the other, and we are making appropriate arrangements.
Candidates had 2 hours to convince the examiner after months of burning midnight oil.
It was more of me reading and getting to answer the question.
This is my 5th center today. So far, things have been running smoothly.
We don't have any challenges for now.
Out of 1,761,338 candidates that registered for this year's UTME, 528,119 candidates are expected to participate on the commencement day nationwide. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the meeting to resolve strike action involving members of Senior Staff Association of Nigerian University SANU and Non-Academic Staff Union NASU with the federal government is to continue this Friday to put finishing touches to the remaining grey areas which could not be resolved on Thursday night. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngigi, stated this while expressing hope of a permanent resolution to the lingering university crisis. Another non-teaching university staff union, which is also to engage with the federal government after the meeting with the Joint Action Committee of NASU and SANU, is the National Association of Academic Technologists, NAT, which has also been on strike. The meeting with university unions is, however, beginning to yield positive results as the Academic Staff Union of Research Institutions, ASURI, has suspended its indefinite strike over unresolved issues with the federal government. The Secretary General of ASURI, Theophilus Undubaku, in a letter to the Ministry of Labour, has since directed members to resume work immediately. Still on education, the Tertiary Education Fund, TET Fund, is leveraging the university ICT drive to upscale efforts in its current review to improve delivery systems of curricula for higher institutions of learning in the country. This is when the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities visited the fund. This is also part of ongoing efforts to sustain the reforms in the sector, with increased emphasis on the content component of its interventions in the institutions in areas of ICT, research and reading culture among the students.
Having regards to the digitization of thesis, that we have a particular specific collaboration or partnership with you, we are confident that once this is accomplished, it will not only provide open learning resources for researchers and students who want to access previous work done in their respective areas of research, but also promote a culture of academic excellence.
The Committee of Vice Chancellors has also requested the fund to further support its stride to develop a homegrown plagiarism detection software, EagleScan. EagleScan is an application best-in-class solution which will enable final year and postgraduate students undertake a plagiarism check before submitting their projects or thesis. The federal government says it will deploy its strength to protect innocent and hard-working Nigerians from terrorists and those causing breakdown of law and order in the southeastern region. President Muhammadu Buhari, who stated this at a meeting with southeastern leaders to round off his working visit to Ebonyi State, expressed concern over the deteriorating security situation in the region and directed security agencies to flush out those perpetrating violence in the land. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
In the last 48 hours, I have been informed of the latest in the round of brutal actions carried out by gun-wielding terrorists who prey on innocent and hard-working citizens.
President Muhammadu Buhari has described as unfortunate that these barbaric acts were visited upon those who have committed their lives to protecting fellow citizens of the country. He once again paid tribute to members of the Nigerian armed forces who recently lost their lives in the region.
Terrorists must be flushed out from amongst us. I will once again repeat, no one has the right to carry an AK-47 rifle, and anyone seen in any part of the country doing so and is not a law enforcement officer is a threat to our peaceful coexistence and should be treated as such.
responding to appeals by traditional, religious and political leaders in the region for the release of the detained leader of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, the president maintains that the matter remains in the full purview of the courts, where it will be properly adjudicated.
My worry is for our hardworking and innocent civilians for whom life is already tough and would like to just go out and earn a decent, honest living. And the government owes them that obligation to protect their lives and property. As we find ourselves in the process of selecting another round of leadership for our country, every citizen must feel that their role counts and they are able to practice their constitutional right without fear or any form of intimidation. May the voice of the people be supreme.
President Buhari used the opportunity to highlight some of his government's achievements in the provision of infrastructure in the region, dismissing those peddling false narrative of lack of care and consideration for the people of the Southeast. Governor David Umahi said President Buhari would be remembered as a man who did not use the plight of the people of the Southeast to play politics, but came to their rescue severally. He urged Southern leaders to work towards finding a political solution in resolving some challenging issues, warning that the region is at crossroads.
Mr. President had already granted a political solution to be initiated. And so we call on President of Ohanese, to stop delaying this and not allow politics to come into it. And I believe that a listening president, our father, will listen to that. He's one of us, and he will continue to be one of us.
On the 2023 elections, the governor said he believed strongly in the demand for the presidency to be zoned to the Southeast region on the basis of fairness, equity, justice, and morality. From Abakaleke, Ebonyi State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
It's time to join Adiola in Lagos for more on Nationwide. Over to you, Adiola.
Thank you, Lami. Candidates of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME thronged the various centers in Lagos this Friday in prospect for admission into the nation's universities. Hengino John Adams, who monitored the exercise, reports that the rains could not deter the candidates in the examination that will end on the 14th of this month.
Candidates waiting for their turn to write the exam. Regina Sahid just finished writing hers, but that was not achieved on a platter of gold.
I had to keep on printing, and at one point they were like, they have to take us, they have to schedule another date for us because they were not getting our fingerprints right.
When I started, I did one subject first, then the system went off. People's system started tripping off, but the engineers came and they made it.
Some parents who accompanied their children had a feel of the series of delay, and they expressed dissatisfaction.
Those who wrote earlier, quite a few came out complaining about system shutting down.
Before this kind of exam will take place, at least they examine their systems, whether it's working or it's not working.
At other centers visited, candidates had a different experience.
I wrote mock, so I already had the introduction to the exam process and everything, so it was fine.
It was actually very smooth. At first we got there and then we had to go in line to get our biometric check and everything.
Though some centers had it smooth, operator of one of the computer-based test centers who had hitches attributed it to the rain.
Once it rains like this, it will be more difficult to verify student biometrics because as a result of the coldness, their fingers must have been freezed, and it might cause a lot of delay in verifying.
These traders know what the candidates need and took advantage of the day to make brisk sales. As the examination continues, candidates are hopeful that all anomalies will be corrected. In Lagos, Henginu John Adams, NTA News.
A project aimed at engaging Nigerian communities naturally blessed with the ancient rock art of Nigeria to increase their involvement in the preservation and benefit from the unique heritage has commenced in Nigeria. Diana Ajale, who was at the official exhibition of photos and monoliths of some of the ancient rock arts in Lagos, reports that the project is championed by the United States Ambassadors Fund in collaboration with the National Commission for Museum and Monuments.
Beyond oil and gas, Nigeria is naturally endowed with abundant natural resources, which can serve as major tourist sites in Africa that will attract more global attention. From waterfalls to the ancient rock art of Nigeria.
The rock art has coded messages. It's part of the culture of the southern Nigeria.
It's bringing back memories of what our forefathers could do that have withstood the test of time.
The rock art of Africa is one of the oldest, which shows the very emergence of the human imagination. This unique work remains a priceless treasure that is irreplaceable.
Through this repatriation of Benin bronze and rest, we look at taking these objects around the world, exhibiting them, and generating revenue for us.
For the United States, one of the best ways to preserve the precious and unique heritage in Africa is through documentation and improved infrastructures, especially through engagement of state-owned communities in the promotion of rock arts for posterity.
Over the last 10 years, Mission Nigeria, the United States mission to Nigeria, has funded over $1 million in projects, including this one.
The exhibition of photos and monoliths of some of the rock arts of Nigeria, which have not been seen in public for decades, for the next 1 month will be open to the public to see at the National Museum Center, Lagos, from May 5, before traveling to the National Museum, Calabar, in July 2022. The exhibition is expected to continue at the Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria come September 2022. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Lagos for now. But before we return to Naija in Abuja, do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng or live and on our other social media handles for updates. Nationwide will continue this time
as the palace for all Nigerians, commanding high respect and regards by Nigerians, despite diversities. Dalhatu Abdullahi reports that Governor Bala Muhammad made the remarks when he paid homage on the Sultan at his palace.
The Bauchi State Governor was led on the visit to the Sultan by his Sokoto State counterpart, Amin Waziri Tambol. Governor Bala Muhammad told the Sultan that as politicians, they will continue to be good ambassadors of the country by playing politics in the best democratic way.
Our collective aspiration is not a do-or-die affair, and we know the tarbiyah, the way you brought us up, is to see the society first. And we are together, we assure you, without your inkling or reprimand, we are going to do it in the best democratic way.
Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar said the biggest challenge ahead of politicians, the federal and state governments, is bringing to an end banditry activities to make people secured.
And it's a responsibility on your shoulders, and you can do it. What you need is to come together as one single body with one single purpose, without any issue of ethnicity, party alliances, religion, or whatever. But that's the best way and only way to salvage this great country, Nigeria.
As community leaders, the Sultan said they will continue to pray for them to succeed in that regard. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The wife of the Sokoto State Governor, Maria Aminu Waziri Tambol, has called on Nigerians, especially women, to shun politics of bitterness and violence. She made the call while receiving some women groups in the state. She reports.
Women groups from all walks of life, from across Sokoto State, converge on the residence of Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol to pay Salah homage to his wife, Maria Aminu Waziri Tambol. They include PDP women elders, commissioners' wives, National Youth Council of Nigeria Women Wing, Women's Wing of Students' Unions, CSOs, associations of married women, and women's wing of resident community, among others. Although all of them were on Salah Homage, some were given opportunity for remarks. The representatives of the different women groups commended wife of the governor for her humanitarian gestures and programs, urging others to emulate her.
Women in Sokoto are really enjoying her because she has a very good relationship with them. She's always very accommodative. She always cares about her followers. I'm very happy because it's a nice woman.
Wife of the governor expressed gratitude to all those who come for the Salah Homage. She specifically called on the Nigerian women to shun politics of bitterness and play the game with decorum. She prayed God to bring peace and lasting solutions to the country's numerous challenges. In Sokoto, Sheo Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
The most beloved actions in the sight of Allah are the acts of worship and one constantly, even if they are minor. An Islamic scholar in Sokoto, Dr. Jabir Sani Mehula, enjoined Muslims to be steadfast in doing voluntary acts, even acts that will earn them mercy.
We witnessed that for 1 month, which resulted to people becoming more spiritually high. People, the masajid, the places of worship are jam-packed. People were punctual in their prayers. People rise in giving charity. It is expected that these actions shall continue, even not to that degree they were done in Ramadan, but then they shall continue. One of the mercies of Islam is that the Prophet ﷺ says actions are tenfolded to whoever does a particular action. We fast Ramadan and it will be tenfolded to fast in 10 months. And if you fast 6 days in Shawwal, it will be tenfolded to fast in 60 days. 60 days plus 10 a month will give you a full year. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever fasts Ramadan then follows up with 6 days in Shawwal is as if he fasts a lifetime, if he fasts that whole year. So this is one of the mercies of Islam, that actions are tenfolded and you get the maximum reward of a little action you do.
You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and our YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter handle at NTA News and our Facebook page, which is NTA Network News, and Instagram, NTA Network, for updates. That's it for us here in Sokoto. Nationwide continues with Nidatu in Abuja. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nana Aisha. And still on the just concluded Salah festivities, Muslims in Enugu have called for continued peace between the major religions in the country in order to forge a united front and tackle the myriad problems currently facing the country. Mina Ukaobasi, who monitored the Salah celebrations in Enugu, reports that it was a feast marked by both Muslims and Christians.
Preaching in Igbo language is an indicator that Enugu State is home to most Muslims, some of whom are either born and raised here or have spent the better part of their lives in Enugu State. Little wonder the Eid celebrations offered another opportunity for Christians in Enugu to celebrate with their Muslim brothers seamlessly.
I'm a Christian, and we these people, Muslim, we are living together. You can see me like this now. I'm a Muslim, but I can
Sarki Zaki Aliyu Danjuma Okwaba not only adjudicates matters concerning the Muslim community as their head in Ibawaka and Soka community, but also oversees issues that affect the common man, irrespective of religious leanings. His palace is home for both high and low. The Eid offered him more opportunity to reach out to every home in Ibawaka with an intent to share love and do charity as the celebration signifies.
Was very small. My father used to take me to a Christian leader for Christmas. We stayed there from 25th to 1st.
For Osun born but Ibawaka raised Rauf Badamasi, religion should not be the deciding indices for peaceful coexistence, but rather the spirit of brotherhood.
Ramadan is the month of peace.
charity, humanitarian to anybody, both Christian and Muslim. We should be able to glorify God Almighty.
It's all about sharing love with everybody, uniting with loved ones, either Christian or Muslim.
From Ebonyi in Sopa, Mina Advocacy report.
Such a heartwarming report. Now, away from Salah festivities, the United Kingdom Visa and Immigration Office says it stands with the Nigerian government in proscribing IPOB as a terrorist group, as members of the group and its paramilitary wing, the Eastern Security Network, have reportedly committed human rights violations in Nigeria. In a statement, the UK office notes that if a person has been involved with IPOB and or an affiliated group, MASOB or any other Biafran group which incites or uses violence to achieve its aims, decision makers must consider whether one or more of the exclusion clauses under the Refugee Convention is applicable, as such persons who commit human rights violations must not be granted asylum. The policy further directs decision makers to check if there has been a previous application for a UK visa or another form of leave, noting that asylum applications matched to visas should be investigated before the asylum interview. The British government also says establishing a convention reason is not sufficient to be recognized as a refugee, and for an asylum application to succeed, decision makers must consider the facts of each case, taking into account the legal status, profile, size, and organization of the group or organization to which the person belongs, whether a person in the UK would wish to continue activism if returned to Nigeria. If not, why not? And whether the group or organization has a presence in Nigeria as well as outside the country, and any evidence that it is being monitored by the government. Other considerations include the person's profile and political activities, including those online, and relevant documentary or other evidence, the profile and activities of family members, past treatment of the person, and evidence that their activities in the UK may have come to the attention of the Nigerian security agencies. The Supreme Court has upheld the decision of the Court of Appeal recognizing the Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje-led APC faction. Justice Ibrahim Saulai gave the order in an appeal filed by the Senator Ibrahim Shekarau-led APC faction. The Apex Court also resolved in part the oil well dispute between Rivers State and Imo State in favor of Rivers State. Dele Atumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
State government as plaintiff in this matter approached the Supreme Court on the disputed 17 oil wells between it and Imo State. In his adumbration, the plaintiff counsel Joseph Daudu, SAN, while adopting his final addresses, asked the Apex Court to give judgment in favor of Rivers State on the ground that historical evidence right from 1927 till date clearly indicated that the oil wells belong to the state. Daudu drew the attention of the Supreme Court to the boundary adjustment paper of 1976, where Ndoni and Egbema were confirmed to belong to Rivers State. In his own argument, counsel to Imo State Olushola Oke, SAN, asked the Apex Court to dismiss the suit on the grounds that it ought to have originated from the Federal High Court. In the same vein, counsel to the Attorney General of the Federation, Remiola Tubura, SAN, aligned himself with the position of Imo State to the effect that proper procedure for such a suit was not adopted by Rivers State. In judgment in the matter, Justice Emmanuel Agim granted the relief sought after by the Rivers State government in parts. The Apex Court granted reliefs 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in favor of the Rivers State government. In the unanimous judgment, the court also refused reliefs 2, 7, and 10.
Allowed the case of the plaintiffs, which is the Rivers State government, as filed by the Attorney General of Rivers State, allowed it in parts. And the judgment has not been given to us, but we're being assured that in a few days, the comprehensive judgment will get to us and we'll see the detail.
The river that was the plaintiff succeeded in part and failed in part. The counter claim which we made was rejected. When we have details, we were told that the reliefs are granted in parts and they refused in parts. To be able to give you the details of what was granted and what was refused, we must have a copy of the judgments.
Also this Friday, the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal of Senator Ibrahim Sekerau's faction, laying claim to being the authentic leadership of the APC in Kano State. In a unanimous judgment, Justice Ibrahim Salawa dismissed the appeal of Sekerau's faction, thereby upholding the decision of the Court of Appeal, which recognized Governor Abdullahi Ganduje's faction as the authentic leader of the APC in Kano State. The High Court of the FCT had earlier found for the Sekerau's leadership a decision overturned by the Court of Appeal, declaring that the trial court lacked jurisdiction in an internal matter of the party. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
The Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekon Adigbite, has enjoined youth to take advantage of the various opportunities in the solid mineral sector. The minister gave the advice at the graduation ceremony of the first batch of gemstone and jewelry making training in Abuja.
By this, what we have started here today, and these graduates and the others that will come after them, we are going to retain our gold in Nigeria, add value to it, and we can sell to our people. But beyond that, we're building a gold souk in Kano, a gemstone market in Ibadan. This will feed into those programs, and people will make Nigeria a destination to come to, for your jewelry and gemstones.
Let's now join Lanre in our Ibadan Network studios for more reports. Hello, Lanre.
Good to see you, Najatu, and welcome to Ibadan. As part of his administration's effort to provide more infrastructure and enhance the standard of living in Osun State, Governor Gboyega Oyetola has flagged off rehabilitation of 9.8-kilometer federal government roads in the state. Correspondent Bolaji Akeem has details.
Despite the fact that affected roads belong to the federal government, the determination of Governor Oyetola's administration to provide good road network for easy movement of goods and services in fulfillment of his campaign promises informed the decision to execute the road project. The affected roads are within Osogbo, Olorunda, Irepo-Odun, and Orolu Federal Constituency. The roads, which have been in deplorable condition for over 13 years, apart from bringing untold hardship to motorists along the axis, also affected the people's socio-economic activities.
When completed, the people of the state shall use these roads for profitable business as well as for general social development of the state and the area. It is my belief that as good motorable roads boost the development of an area, the socio-economic activities of the citizens around the road network will know this time witness a massive turnaround.
The reconstruction and rehabilitation, estimated at over 3.2 billion naira, is expected to be completed in 12 months. Governor Oyetola appealed to residents to cooperate with the contractor handling the project so as to deliver as scheduled. In Osogbo, Bolaji Akeem, NTA News.
Telecommunication operators under the auspices of Association of Licensed Telecommunication Operators of Nigeria are proposing a 40% hike in calls and SMS tariffs, which will make subscribers to pay more. In this report, Hamad Fulani examines the implication of this proposal on Nigerians residents in Ilorin against the background of the harsh economic situation in the country.
The decision by the telecommunication operators to increase their tariff by 40% is necessitated by the rising cost of running business in the country. Financial challenge due to economic downturn occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, rising cost of diesel and ongoing Russia-Ukraine war leading to 35% increase in energy costs as some of the reasons cited for the upward review of the tariff plan. Nasiru Abdulkadri operates an online TV in Ilorin and makes use of data to operate his business. Any increase in tariff at this time to him will amount to inflicting further hardship on the masses.
They spend nothing less than 10,000 on a monthly basis on data.
on title calling and everything, and you are getting this from millions of Nigerians, and yet you think that okay, because of this rule, there's no way you can make it up, then you can peg your profit.
It's going to affect our business. It's not only our business alone, but the layman. It's going to affect us, of course. The rate of calling that we believe that is too much.
How many people can even afford to eat the 3 square meal, not talk of increasing the data or tariff with 40% increment?
With the new tariff, the fee for calls will increase from 6 naira 4 kobo per second to 8 naira 95 kobo, while the price for SMS will increase from 4 naira to 5 naira 61 kobo. Ahmad Fulani, NTA News.
Those are the latest reports from Ibadan.
Staying with us on Nationwide up to this moment, and this is Maiduguri Network Center. Let's move on now. In a renewed determination to reduce the rate of unemployment across the country, National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Borno State, has concluded second phase disbursement of 100,000 naira loan as livelihood support to 146 beneficiaries in all. 100 youths from Borno State were also selected by NDE for training in various agricultural activities to enhance self-reliance. Jadwa Jasni will now tell us more.
It could be recalled that the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Borno State, had trained and disbursed start-up loans of 100,000 naira to 108 individuals in Borno State. This time, 38 others have benefited from same gesture of electronic loan disbursement to enable them venture into various agricultural activities for growth and financial independence. The NDE has also made a new selection of 100 individuals to participate in a 3-month Sustainable Agriculture Development and Empowerment Scheme training in poultry, animal fattening and horticulture. While advising the loan beneficiaries to use the funds judiciously, NDE Borno State Coordinator Mairo Betara Aliu also enjoined the new beneficiaries to take the 3-month training with utmost seriousness.
They have 6 months monitoring period. We have also conducted this orientation to sensitize them on how to pay the loan. Let them be very serious with the training, and God will help see them through.
Some of the participants appreciated the NDE for the opportunity and assured to do their best to achieve the aims of the training. Representative of Director, Rural Employment Promotion, Hawabasi, and lead trainer, Kaka Imam, among other speakers, advised the beneficiaries and participants to take advantage of the opportunity to better their lives and that of their families. In Maiduguri, Jadwa Jesini, NTA News.
And away from that now, 500 two-bedroom houses constructed by the Borno State government as part of the post-insurgency recovery program have been allocated to internally displaced persons from 6 camps in Damboa, the local government area. Commissioner for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Engineer Mustafa Gubiu, represented Borno State Governor at the allocation of the houses, a project supported by the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. Rebecca Bature completes the story.
Addressing the beneficiaries, the Commissioner Engineer Mustafa Gubiu thanked Governor Babagana Umara Zulum for his commitment towards resettlement of IDPs despite limited resources at the disposal of government. He urged the allottees to maintain the houses provided to them and use the food items and other materials for their upkeep. House of Assembly member Malami Wakil Kurode lauded the state government for its concern to the people of Damboa.
Wannan gidajen da aka sarrafa aka ba ku izinin zama a ciki gidajen gwamnati ne ya ba ku amana.
Council Chairman Damboa Local Government Professor Adamu Garba Aloma urged the people to support the administration of Governor Zulum and advise them to also cooperate with security agents to ensure maximum security in Damboa. Each of the 500 households also got 50 kg of rice and maize provided by the state government, while the United Nations High Commission supported 832 beneficiaries of the houses, including vulnerable women in the camps, with cash and non-food items. In Maiduguri, Rebecca Bature, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're on to Nationwide on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA. Let us at this point return to Najatu in Abuja for more reports for us this evening. So, Najatu.
Welcome back to our Abuja studios. We're talking health matters now. Members of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives at a media briefing are meeting to end the brain drain in the health sector with the aim of achieving universal health coverage in Nigeria and to protect, support and invest in the nursing and midwifery profession to strengthen healthcare services. Elizabeth Omori reports.
The 2021 State of the World's Midwifery Report by WHO shows that global shortage of midwives stands at 900,000, particularly acute in Africa. This indicates that 75% of essential needs for maternal and reproductive health care are met by midwives. To meet the global demand for health professionals is the reason for this meeting.
Protect nurses' rights in order to transform the health sector system to meet the health needs of the individuals, communities, and the future of this country.
Inadequate supply of functional equipment, insecurity, quackery, and poor remuneration, they attribute to factors militating the achievement of the universal basic health coverage before 2030.
The absence of midwife, most especially in the primary health care setting, has contributed immensely to increased rate in maternal and child health mortality. These deaths are preventable if there are enough individuals working in the primary health care centers.
Members of the association recommend involvement of nurses and midwives